Warning, this video contains strong opinions, explicit language, and mature content. Remember, these are only the opinions of one man. They do not mean your beliefs, views, or your opinions are wrong. But let's face it, they are.
This is the part of the video that I normally say, what is up gamers and haters? But today it's a little different. Today you're not going to see any gameplay, but instead you are going to hear my opinions, my thoughts, and I'm pretty real with things. This is not going to be any kind of humor. I really kind of don't, it's not that I don't care about you guys' feelings, but if I offend you, I apologize in advance, but at the same turn, like I said, these are my thoughts and my opinions. Today, it's Fuck It Friday, and today I'm talking to all the haters. I really want you guys to listen up. That's what I'm going to say instead. I want you guys to really listen up and pay attention to what's going on and the things that I've got to say, because I really feel like if people just embrace some of the things that I'm about to say, this world's going to be a hell of a lot better. Today, I'm going to be talking about the flags and a lot of the crap that's going on with that. Number one, guys, that's just freaking dumb. They're flags. They're pieces of material. You guys seem to think they have all this meaning and all this and all that, which they do. It's our history. It's always going to be our history. But come on, guys, it's a fucking flag, for real. I'm going to start with the Confederate flag. Most of you guys seem to think that the Confederate flag stands for slavery and it only stands for the South. In reality, that's not exactly true. After doing some research and finding out a lot of things, I don't really necessarily think that that is the only thing it was meant to stand for. Actually, as a matter of fact, that flag really wasn't even flown as the Southern flag. There were 3 different versions of that flag. The first flag was actually called the first national flag. That flag was changed due to resemblance to our actual United States flag. That kind of just didn't make sense, because what it was about was obviously the South trying to break away from the North. And really the whole battle of that wasn't really just slavery. There were a lot of issues that I could talk about slavery and how that could go back and forth. It could go back and forth for hours. Matter of fact, in my notes I have a lot of that, but we're not really going to get into a lot of that for time's sake. There was another flag. After that, it was the second national flag. That flag was actually modified due to it being like the flag of truce, which is obviously not something they wanted to represent if they were trying to go against each other. But that flag ended up becoming the Confederate battle flag. People seem to think, like I said, that that was the flag of the South. That flag actually was used in battles, and it wasn't even used by the whole Confederate Army. It was used in the Virginias. I think the Virginia Confederate Army was one of them, and it's also the naval jack of the Confederate Army. So that flag actually has a hell of a lot of meaning to it. It isn't just, you know, the slavery and all the things that come with that, because like I said, that argument can go back and forth for hours. The interesting part about that flag is people say that it was, you know, like I said, it was the flag of slavery. Well, that's really interesting considering our own United States flag was a flag that was flown for I don't know how many years, but like several freaking years. And we were the slave country, or slave nation. That's what we were known for. We were the slave nation. One other thing about the Confederate flag too, it's always going to be part of our history. Whether we want to delete it or not, it's always going to be there. So we might as well just accept the truth behind what that flag stood for and what it really meant and move on. It's always going to be there. So the fact that we're trying to get rid of all these flags, it really makes no sense, because we can get rid of them all we want, but we all are going to remember that. And we can't just say that we're going to move forward in history and then our next generations aren't going to remember it. That's not true. We know that. We remember things way back from, you know, generations before us that were bad and good. So whatever. The next flag I'm going to move on to is our flag. Again, this flag was the flag that was flown over the slave nation, not the Confederate flag. So therefore, you know, that speaks a lot anyway. Should we remove our own American flag? I don't believe so. The reason why I don't believe so is that flag also represents our strength and unity as a nation. So once again, like the Confederate flag, it has all these different meanings. So if we're going to get into the debate of removing the flags, maybe we should just remove them all, you know? Instead of fighting over it. It makes no sense that we're fighting over stupid crap like this. But considering this nation, or this flag represents freedom and unity in a nation, let's stop stomping on the damn thing. You really think that stomping on the flag is going to get our government's attention, or that's going to change things? How freaking ignorant. You know what's going to change things? Standing up for that flag and believing in what that flag meant. Because that flag means that we have the right as a nation to stand up against an oppressive government by the ways of voting, which a lot of our nation doesn't do. You know, these are the people that complain that there's so much wrong with our nation are the ones that don't stand up and don't vote and don't do anything about it. They'd rather just sit back and complain. I feel like it's only to start a war. And to start a war over what? You know, it's a symbol. It means something to all of us, yes, but at the same time, like I said, it's just a freaking flag. My opinion about the American flag, though, all I can really say overall is that flag represents we the people. not a group of politicians. We elect those politicians by the way of voting, and if we feel like that we're not getting justice and that's not happening the way it is, we have that power under the constitutional rights to overthrow that said government. So in my opinion, that's not another flag we need to be fighting over. The last flag that I'm going to talk about, I really don't have a whole lot to say about it, that is the gay pride flag. I'm still learning a lot about that shirt and a lot about how that flag is important to them and what it means to them. But again, it's just a flag. It really doesn't affect anybody but them. It's their beliefs, and they're entitled to that. And if that's, what they choose to stand by, that's what they choose to stand by. We as Americans are allowed to do the same with our U.S. flag. So how come, anybody in our country that's supposed to be free can't do the same? The fact with that flag is people are burning that flag. The only reason they're burning that flag is because they're insecure with themselves. They really can't accept that other people are not like them and they're allowed to be that way. So with that said, and with that said about all these flags, my overview for saying all this is they're just flags. Let's just leave it at that. They're always going to be part of our history, whether we like it or not. Doesn't really matter whether they're bad, whether it's good. It doesn't matter. It's always going to be there. We are all entitled to our beliefs and our opinions, but that's just it. They are our beliefs and our opinions. We're allowed to have them, so are others. Just accept it, guys. Like, freaking quit being fucking stupid over it. Like, seriously, we start race wars, we start religion wars, we start all these different types of wars for what? It's always going to be around. Everybody's always going to have different beliefs, different opinions, different thoughts, different views. Let's just fucking accept it. These are my thoughts. These are my opinions. I hope you guys enjoyed them. Once again, this has been Fuck It Friday. If you guys want to see more of this, let me know in the comments below. If you have anything to say against the things that I have said, if you don't agree with them, that's completely fine. You're allowed your opinion. That's fine. If you want to hate me in the comments, it's cool. Whatever. I don't care. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Peace.